Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's Kick-Ass Coach and the owner of Empowerment Coaching. I'm a clinical psychologist, and welcome to Dr. Bonnie Delivers, where I share 30 years of experience doing private practice and having people who have benefited from the tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you today. So I'm having one of those technological disaster days where everything from laptop dying to I can't quite get the lighting right on this thing. So we'll see how well this goes, because I have some things I want to show you, but we'll see how well they show up against the different colors. So I may be switching hands with things. We'll see how it goes. So I help business owners and entrepreneurs who are frazzled with their business and their life so that they can overcome that overwhelm feeling and sell to more people, get a handle on their business, feel more comfortable with what they're doing, and really begin to enjoy living their life. So on today's Dr. Bonnie Delivered, I've got some notes here, because there's things I want to make sure I don't forget. We're going to do how to show up for your kick-ass life, okay? And one of the things that I think is important about that is asking yourself, am I brave enough to show up for my kick-ass life? I think it's too easy to fall into being complacent about life. I do the same things every day, I've got my routine, and I'm not really living life fully. So I've got some ways to help you assess that. If you know of anybody that you think might be interested in the topic that I'm talking about today, fully stepping up, showing up for your kick-ass life, feel free to share this video with them right now so that they can join us live. And I will also, at the end, if you stick with me till the end, I've got a special offer I want to present to you. So, what do I mean by showing up fully or living a full life, a kick-ass life? I'd like you to think back on when you were a little kid and what were the goals that you had as a little kid, things that you wanted to accomplish. I remember being maybe 6, 7 years old, and my sisters and I building a spaceship. We built the spaceship out of tricycles and dandelions. Didn't fly very far, but the whole idea was we had big dreams. We had big things we wanted to accomplish, and we put a lot of time and effort into that. That kept us busy for several days, actually. I'm sure my mother was quite happy about that. What were your big dreams then? Think about that. When you were a little kid, what were the things you wanted? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a teacher or a nurse. Or what were your big dreams then? Post some of those in the comments section. What were your big dreams when you were a little kid? When I was in high school, my big dream was I was going to be a secretary. I took all the classes for that. I trained for that. I did a co-op job. Obviously something changed on the path, because that isn't where I ended up in the long run, but that's what my big dream was at that point. So regardless of whether or not those big dreams manifested, give us a little bit of a sense of what were your big dreams at that point in time, because sometimes we can glean aspects of those big dreams that we can now put into place with you as an adult. So another way to think about living your kick-ass life is by doing an inventory of where's my life at right now, okay? And so I've got this really cool holistic wheel that I want to share with you, and we'll see how well, let's try this. There we go. So if you look at this holistic wheel, it's kind of like a pie with wedges, and I'll show you some ways to modify this too so that you can make changes to make it more meaningful for you. And I will post this in the feed once the live is done. Oh, I see Jerry's there. Hi, Jerry. There's a list right here of different categories within life. So I'm just going to read through those. There's spirituality, life purpose, fun and play. I kind of have worked on that one pretty hard lately. Money, family and friends, health and physical, and love and relationships. You can pick out different ones. Oh, wait, we gotta go over here. You can pick out different categories too. One of the things that I tell people, because I've had some people say, well, I've got a whole lot more in my life besides just that. Divide the wedges in half. Just run a line so you got twice as many wedges. You can make as many wedges as you want. You can change the names on the wedges so that they fit better for your life. But what you do with them is you pick a color for each wedge. It's your chance to whip out the Crayola 64 box that you really wanted, right? And you're going to fill in each of the wedges to the extent that that area of your life leads to satisfaction. So if you fill in the whole wedge, this is fun to do backwards. If you fill in the whole wedge, what that means is you're highly satisfied with that area of your life. If you only fill in a little bit of the wedge, if it's closer to the center here, it's all backwards. That means that it's an area that's not very satisfying to you, okay? So there's a couple of different things that we're going to look for in this pie chart. One thing we're going to look for is how even is your circle all the way around, and I'm going to show you some examples in a minute. And the second thing we're going to look for is how close to the outside of the, that's so funny, outside of the circle are you? So let me show you some examples. Here's one, whoops, wrong side, there we go. Here's one where several areas, the yellow in particular, that person's very satisfied with that area of their life. There's other areas, the green and the orange, that are pretty satisfactory, but there are several areas, including the pink and the red, where there's very little satisfaction in those areas of this person's life. So the question is, how well does this wheel roll down the road of life, okay? This one's going to be a pretty rocky road, right? It's going to bump along, kind of like those old cartwheels. It's not going to be a very comfortable ride, all right? So that's a real uneven life circle holistic wheel. I also have one here where it's much more even. Whoops, there we go. But notice how close to the center it is. So this person has a well-rounded life, if you want to call it that, but they're very dissatisfied with their life overall. Obviously, this isn't what we're aiming for either, okay? Here's an ideal life. Every wedge is out to the edge. So this person is highly satisfied with all areas of his or her life. Now, are there many people who hit this? Maybe not. But this is the ideal. This is what we're aiming for. This is your kick-ass life, okay? So that the areas of your life are satisfying and meet your needs, and that there's an evenness to it. So that, again, that cart is going to roll down the road of life pretty well, okay? So let me see if I missed anything on that. Again, I'll post a copy of the wheel in the feed after we're done with the live video so that you can print one off and do this yourself. Just off the cuff, what do you think might be some areas in your life where there's going to be dissatisfaction, where you know you're not quite living up to your full potential, where you're not satisfied? Because those are going to be things that I use for future Dr. Bonnie Delivers. If those are areas that need some attention, I'll be more than happy to address them. And I think it's also going to fit in with the offer that I make at the end of this video. So hang around till the end. When you're doing this inventory, once you have this beautiful visual, what do you do with it? One of the things I'd like you to do with it is be as deeply honest with yourself as you can be about this. Most of us like to skirt around this. We pretend not to see what's really there. When we see it in a visual, ooh, friends and family, it's less than halfway to the edge. Some of us don't want to deal with that. It's uncomfortable to realize there are areas of our lives that are just not up to snuff, okay? But until we recognize them and own them as not where we want them to be, it's really difficult to change them. So, where is your life not up to par? Where is it downright mediocre? And once you're brave enough to look at that, then we can tackle, and what am I going to do about it? How am I going to fix this? All right? It's all fixable. It's all fixable. Have faith. So a few more things I want you to think about in terms of evaluating and constructing your kick-ass life. Think about in terms of routine. What I teach my coachees is that routine is a powerful way to establish new patterns in your life, but it has to be mindful. So What I mean by mindful is when you're developing a new routine. For example, when I put together my morning routine, which involves meditation and journaling and some breath work, when I was putting together that routine, the routine itself helped me stay on track with my goals. Okay? When your routines support your goals, fabulous. But I think what happens to a lot of us is routine becomes a default. We just mindlessly fall into it. You drive to work the same way every day. You don't even have to think about it. You eat the same thing for breakfast every day. You don't even have to think about it. Yes, that helps make life a little simpler in ways, but it's also what keeps us stuck in the mundane. All right? So, to live mindfully, we need to be aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it. That why piece is really important. A lot of times when I ask people, well, why do you do that? Well, I don't know. I've just always done it that way. They don't really have a good answer. And when they take a look at it, they do realize that something could be done differently and it probably would go a whole lot better. So change a few things up. These can be as little as practice, brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. When you're walking the dog, put the leash in your other hand. Take a different route to work. Do something different that causes you to think more about it. Eat with the fork in your other hand, just so that you're more aware. Your phone, put your phone up to the other ear. It will feel really strange to begin with, but it's a way to get your brain firing with different cells to throw more awareness at what am I doing here? Okay? Post in the comments any ideas you can think of about how to shake up your life a little bit. And again, these little bitty tweaks may not seem like they're a great big deal, but it forces your brain to be doing something different than it's always done, and in opening up that new pattern, it'll get your mind looking at other areas of your life, like with the wheel, where you can be doing something different to make things better, okay? So, I'd like you to think over recent days and your own opportunities for showing up more fully in your life. I think oftentimes we're presented with opportunities to show up more fully. It might be an invitation to go do something you haven't typically done. It might be someone calling you and you can have a conversation with them. It might be, again, doing some of these things differently than you always do them. I'd like you to post in the comments section where you've had opportunities to live a bigger, fuller, richer life. And did you take them? Or did you let them go past? Because it would have pushed you out of your comfort zone. Okay? I'd also love to have you share with other people, not only this video, but your thoughts on living a bigger life. Because what I see as I look around is a whole lot of people trudging through life. They're not soaring by any stretch of the imagination. They're just making do, getting by. And I really believe that now, more than ever, we're being called to really step up, to really do things differently, to really live to our fullest potential. How many gifts do you have that haven't been fully tapped? How many gifts do you have that if you don't begin to utilize them, others are going to miss out? What I was told is I have a mission here. I believe my mission is to help everyone realize that they're capable of far more than they think they are. And if I don't do things that put me out of my comfort zone, like doing these videos, the visibility stuff is kind of a freak out. If I don't do these things and show people that it's possible to step up, they're not going to get the message. Why? Because other people can say the message. Have you ever had this happen where different people have told you something over and over and over again and it doesn't quite sink in, but then a particular someone says it in a way that you can hear it and everything changes? I know I'm here to do that for certain people. I'm here to serve that role. I'm going to be maybe the 10th person who says something, but this time it clicks in and you go, wow, this time I heard it. That's my job here. If I don't show up, if I don't do my videos, even if I'm not necessarily feeling like it, or they're not well practiced or whatever, people aren't going to get the messages they need to get. What's your mission here? What are you here to accomplish? What are you here to do? and who might be the people who aren't going to get what they need if you choose not to step up fully into your bigger kick-ass life. Okay? So, I'd love to have you share some thoughts on this in the comments below. What was helpful? What was thought-provoking? What is giving you grist for your mill in terms of making your own changes so that you step up into your full kick-ass potential? One of the biggest things I love to do is work with people who are trying to find their bigger voice or step into their gifts more, that kind of thing. I really love doing that kind of work. And if you'd like more information about how to create an even more kick-ass life for yourself, here's some options. You can check out my blog posts on my website, which is www.empowermentandpurpose, all little letters, all spelled out, .com. And while you're there, I'd love to have you sign up for my free audio download, 10 Minutes for Breathing Life into Your Life. That also gets you set up so that you get my weekly tips series, which is an email series. Once a week, you get a tip for living a more full life. And my monthly newsletter so that you know what kinds of things I have going on. Also, shortly, because my website is undergoing an up level itself, I can't wait to launch that, but then there will be a new download, which will be Stop Playing Small, Power Up Your Life in 8 Kick-Ass Steps. So you can sign up for both of them. That's absolutely fine. So as promised, I have a gift for you. One of the more popular coaching programs that I offer to people is called a Kickstart program, which is a 4-session package where we do holistic coaching around a particular area that you want to manifest more greatly. So taking one of the wedges of your pie that isn't as full as you'd like it to be, that would be a perfect thing to target with a Kickstart program. So, again, because I'm strongly feeling like people need to be more stepping into their gifts and sharing those gifts with others, I'm going to knock $100 off of a Kickstart program for the first 10 people that complete the little survey below. I'm going to post a little questionnaire. You can cut and paste it either into an email, bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com, or you can private message me back on this Facebook page. Just cut and paste the couple of questions that are in my questionnaire and let me know you're interested in talking about doing the Kickstart program, and you'll save yourself $100. So let's see what else we missed here. Nothing. Yay me. Okay, so that's it for this week's Dr. Bonnie Delivers. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and I'm America's Kick-Ass Coach, and I want you to remember we're all capable of far more than we think we are. Have a great day.